Ward of Atlanta-based Erica Ward Interiors and your host of Designer Series. Today with me I have Michael Mitchell and Tyler Hill of Charleston-based Mitchell Hill. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, Erica.
Since you've been here a couple days so far, what have you seen that's kind of excited you a little bit, and what are you hoping to see before you go? So I'll let you take what have you seen so far?
Well, I've seen several exciting things in the John Richards showroom.
Ah,
we just had our appointment here today. Last night we had an opening at Baker for Barbara Berry's new collection, and it's very contemporary and fresh. And it was really exciting to see all that.
And what are you hoping to see, Michael?
I mean, always looking for exciting things in upholstery. We can only see so many track arm sofas.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for something exciting. I think we saw some great stuff yesterday. We've been seeing a lot of really cool, I think there's been a lot of cool stuff happening with reverse painting,
yes.
Which I'm excited about. We bought a console actually here just a few minutes ago. It's really pretty cool and soft, kind of. It could go coastal or very, very contemporary colors on reverse.
Yeah.
Even just like the fabric that we're sitting on.
Right.
So I'm excited to see that. I love Eglamaze anyway, and so to see it done in a really pretty, fresh way is nice.
Right.
So that's exciting.
I've read reviews about your showroom, and I see that people come to your showroom for inspiration. And so I think that's a high praise for you guys to have people come in and just be inspired by the space that you've created.
Yeah, we're always moving things around, changing it up. We try to change with the seasons, and
Sure.
it's one of the nice things about coming to market is we know what's out there, we know what's past, we know what's.
Absolutely. And you're wearing something very on trend right now. Your shirt. Yeah, I read an article recently that talked about millennial pink. And that your shirt's not pink, but it's kind of muted.
It's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of like the.
Yeah. And so what are your thoughts and how have you used that in design, if at all?
I actually love that trend because I tend to be more neutral. I always like to let the art speak.
Sure.
And so,
But we've been doing a lot with these kind of like sandy, blushy pinks. I mean, in our work,
Right.
we have been.
And I like to think that it's one of those colors that, you usually think about feminine and women, but it's so many ways that you can use it even in a masculine
Exactly.
setting. Yeah, and I think that's an interesting.
That's what we have to convince our male clients sometimes.
Right, you just have to kind of show them sometimes better than you can tell them.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's exciting to me to have that opportunity to show a client something that they would have typically not chosen for themselves.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so also you're here at Market looking through a lens of two different perspectives. One is interior designers and then the other is product designers. So would you like to speak a little bit more about your product development piece?
Well, yeah, so 3 years ago I started, with some of our clients, I always like giving them something that their neighbors can't have. And so I started doing commissioned pieces for clients about 3 years ago. And it's been successful. So we did, recently we've signed a contract with a local manufacturer named Averett in Charleston, South Carolina. He's done lines for Barry Dixon and some other great designers. And we're going to be launching that in a few showrooms around the country next few months. Correct. So there'll be about 10 pieces total, and we actually showcased 2 of them at the Charleston Show House that recently closed. So.
Wonderful. Any wall decor, mirrors?
Yeah, we're going to have 2 mirrors, some chandeliers, sconces,
spot tables.
Yeah, spot tables.
Sconces. And you said sconces.
Spot tables. So
But this works.
a lot of it's kind of deco inspired.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of everything.
So aside from color, how has your kind of geographic location influenced your art or your design for that matter?
I'd say that although we live in Charleston, South Carolina, we're very fortunate. We get to travel quite a bit. It's not unusual for us to be on a plane 2 or 3 times a month. So because we are fortunate enough to get to do that, our world is pretty influenced by getting to go places and do things. So we're always taking things in. I would say that our little laboratory, our retail showroom, is influenced by those travels, and because of it, we don't necessarily look like what you would typically think of as Charleston. And because we don't look typically like what Charleston, what you would
That's
think
more
of
of
as
the
Charleston,
appeal.
we ship
Exactly.
stuff everywhere from our own little showroom, from our little laboratory. It's
Right.
fun to kick things around and see what happens and buy things that that we think we could place, or they may end up on a truck on the way to Milwaukee. I mean, you just
Right.
never know. It's
Sure.
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Well, I mean, it's looking at it that way. It's really fun for your associates and your design partners that work in the store because they
Exactly.
see a rotating mix
Mhm.
of items. It's great for your consumer because they know that they can come in there one weekend and then the next
Exactly.
weekend see new
It'd be a whole
pieces.
different story.
We
Right.
we like bringing the rest of the country and other countries to them. Is what we always
Exactly.
like to say.
Yeah.
So it's always we're always shuffling things around, and
Right.
it's always staying fresh.
You're almost creating a need, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like creating a need in a sense where people don't necessarily, except for designers, don't buy furniture every day, you know what I mean, or
Correct.
buy things for their home every day. But you bringing in something new to look at gives them kind of oh, maybe I need a new lamp or coffee table, or you know what I mean, because
Mhm.
it's not the same thing that they're seeing everywhere. You
Yeah.
know? It's-
Not ever. And
Right.
our little showroom, the gallery, we show anywhere from 28 to about 35 different original artists
Oh, wow.
all the time, and
Right.
they could be anywhere from Austin, Texas to Brooklyn, New York. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
so it's pretty cool, that you get to come in and find all these really special, handmade, unique pieces, along mixed in with cool things that we find on our travels or at market or wherever. So we used to be very very controlled with how we would buy. We would say, okay, we bought this sofa, now we need to find pillows or something to go with it. We need
Right.
to do this, we need to do that. And we really don't do that anymore. I mean, when we walk through a showroom, even like John Richards, we grab what we like.
Right.
And when it shows up, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And we come up with great mixes of stuff, and it looks great. And sometimes the people that are placing it in the showroom are our girls, and they haven't necessarily seen it until it got there.
Right.
And that's really fun to
Exactly.
Watch
grab
what-
things
see what they're
and
gonna do
see
with
see
it.
what happens with it.
Well, you mentioned the word mix, and I've heard that several times, across the interviews that we've done today. We talked about the mix of styles and mixed metals.
Uh-huh.
So, think
Yeah.
about if you're buying what you love, which I'm sure you tell your clients too, and there'll always be a
Right.
place for it.
Yeah.
What type of metal mix do you kind of lean towards when you do mixed metals? Is it like brass and iron? Is it steel and something else? Or what mix of metals do you like to see the most?
You go ahead and talk about how you do it in product, because
Especially in lighting, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that we found a manufacturer, and he has over 24 really good finishes. I mean, they're high quality finishes. It's one of the reasons I really like him. They're all custom, and I think sometimes it's hard to convince a client to mix finishes. They want to do everything in brass, or they want to do everything in chrome, or whatever. But I think it's really nice to have the contrast of, for example, doing like a mirror in two different dual finishes. Like you may have brass accents, but then you have the body of the mirror
Right.
is black iron, and it works great.
That contrast
It
is
pulls
beautiful. I'm
exactly.
painting a picture in my head as you're talking.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah.
but it may pull in from the mantle or some other area of the room.
Yeah, or the countertop.
Exactly.
Or, whatever the case may be. And I think the challenge is also educating the client.
Yes.
Because once you can help
That's
them
the foundation. You got to do that first.
Yeah,
before it-
because once you
yeah.
can help them to understand what you're doing, then you've already established the trust part
Exactly.
there. But sometimes even if they don't fully understand, you can bring that to life,
You can-
physically to
Yeah.
show them this is what
Yeah.
is happening here. This is what I'm describing to you.
Exactly.
when we like to do that, we like to explain things to people as we do them.
Yes.
Because everybody wants to know why. I mean,
Right.
they're giving us money. They want to know
Yeah.
why. Why should
Yeah.
we do this?
Right.
I mean, you can't say something as simple as, come on, people, it's not the 80s anymore. We don't have to, be brass all the way through.
Yeah.
Sure.
I also like them
you
being
know?
a part of the process. I think that's part of the fun part of designing is I like taking them out. We're lucky that the factory's within an hour of us. We can take them out there and they can see the process and the different finishes being applied.
I like the idea of kind of taking them behind the curtain. If you
Yeah.
will. Yeah, and it becomes more of a collaborative
Yeah,
process.
and then it feels like a piece of their family when it's in their
Right.
house and they have a part of it.
Yeah, if there's some ownership there,
Yeah.
aside from the fact that they paid for it.
Right, of course.
Exactly. Yeah,
But of course, but involvement in the process does
Yeah.
create that
Yeah.
ownership.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, from a design duo standpoint, where do you think your differences lie as far as style is concerned?
Ooh.
That's the warm seat, you know. He's sitting in the hot seat. So we're waiting.
We have a lot of similarities. I think he definitely has the more business mind. So
Okay.
I tend to sometimes, I like to stay pretty neutral sometimes, but
Sure.
at the same time, I like to be really wacky with some things.
Okay.
And
Wacky's good.
sometimes I'm scared because you never know how it's going to turn out, but I think that's one area where I'm kind of
It's trusting your gut, too.
trusting your gut. I
Right.
think, yeah,
Right.
exactly. So.
And then he's telling you how much it's going to cost to trust your gut.
Yeah.
It's just a funny thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, it's usually my job to present the invoice and collect too, so.
Yeah. Well, there's a place for everything,
Uh-huh.
right? Yeah. Well, the synergy between the two of you make it all work. You know, you got the left brain and the right brain thing going.
Exactly. And we each want the other's brain sometimes.
Yeah.
That's, of course, but
I always say I'm fortunate because both sides of my brain work.
Okay.
Because it doesn't always work that way, not in our business.
No, right.
Yeah.
Well, I come from the same background as
Yeah.
you, so I totally understand completely. And then I admire
I can rock a
people.
calculator and pick
Yeah.
a fact for us
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
The skills.
I'm
Yeah.
the one that's always analyzing everything.
Yeah.
So
That's wonderful.
we work
Okay.
on it.
So aesthetically, which one of you is the maximalist and which one of you is the minimalist?
I don't know if there's a
A
fair
little bit
answer
of
to that
both.
question because,
Yeah.
like, really, like, you know, it depends on the project and it really depends on
Yeah.
what we're doing. I mean, we're fortunate enough that we actually have two homes, and our apartment in New York is very, very clean and more deco driven and very contemporary with our art selections, and it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it.
Sure.
It's more minimal.
And the Charleston's the opposite. It's
And-
a lot more collective kind of.
And our house in Charleston, it's has more of a traditional flair, but has still very contemporary art, and it's really nested. And there's lots of stuff in that house from travels, and it's we're fortunate we have a pretty big house especially for two people, but it's more traveled and nested, whereas our other places is definitely cleaner and there's less in it.
Gotcha. So I think it may have more to do with kind of your geographical region.
Or
Does
even
that-
just
Yeah.
the house. Our last
Yeah.
house in Charleston was
Yeah.
more minimal.
We
Oh,
kind
more
of.
minimal.
Uh-huh.
Okay, gotcha.
It's hard to explain. I've noticed like with our own houses, which are always harder than our clients' houses. Doing our clients' houses are a lot more enjoyable.
Sure.
I think a lot of designers will admit that. But with the houses that we've had, though, we usually know like right
Where it's
after-
going to go.
immediately, like
does
what's
the house
gonna
speak to
happen.
you?
Yeah,
Heard.
it speaks. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
heard
does.
that
And
before,
I
too.
can't really explain it, but you usually know like within the first couple days like where it's going to be headed.
That's awesome.
And
So-
at work, we could be working on something, that's like a really sparse loft project that's got, exposed brick, but then turn right around the corner and be doing some gilded, girly gorgeous
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
with pink and white and gold everywhere. I mean, and I mean, maybe that's just the Gemini in me, but I love that.
Yeah, well, it keeps things interesting.
Yeah.
And I mean, working with the dollars is interesting too, but I mean, it could be mundane. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no.
Dollars and cents is an exact science. You get creative with that, you might go to
Exactly.
jail. But
No.
You
get
can't
creative
let it box you in
elsewhere.
too much. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
I mean, and when I say that though, I mean you have to be able to run your business. I don't mean like, I'm not talking about collecting money from people. I'm just talking about being able to run your business.
Sure.
And that's a huge hole in our industry.
Right.
Um,
Well,
there are
I
a lot of
mean,
great designers out there that are just not good at running business.
Right, or don't know how to sell themselves. you
Right.
know, or how to express the value.
Or confident enough to,
You
yeah.
know,
Right.
It's one of those things, the intangible,
Right,
something that you
exactly.
appreciate or you don't, or you need to learn how to appreciate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, great. Well, it's been really great talking to the both of you.
Enjoyed
too.
speaking to you.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your market here.
Thank
and
you.
thanks for stopping by the showroom.
Of
Thanks for
course.
having us.
Thanks for having us.